Uncovered, where we delve into the darkest corners of humanity to bring you the most shocking true crime stories. Attention, music lovers. Today, we dive deep into the tragic demise of a rising star, Young Dolph. I want to give a shout out to some YouTubers that have been reporting on this case from the beginning, and I've been watching. Auntie Fee about them facts. I've also been watching Rose Gold, Miss Lowdown, Mr. Petty, and of course, True Results. They provide content that is very detailed when it comes to this case, and I enjoy watching them all. Before we begin, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Now let's dive in. Born Adolph Thornton Jr. on July 27, 1985, in Chicago, Illinois, he moved to Memphis to live with his grandmother at the age of 2, and that's where he grew up. Young Dolph mesmerized the world with his unique sound and lyrical skills. Dolph was an American rapper. In 2016, he released his debut studio album, King of Memphis, which peaked at number 49 on the Billboard Chart 200. Rich Slave was his last album to be released during his lifetime, and it debuted at number 4 on the same chart. The father of 2 children was said to be a family man. He did all he could for his neighborhood as well as community. Dolph understood people were not the sum of their good deeds or public beefs. He saw the full humanity in himself and others and demanded his listeners do the same. He donated to several organizations that supported the community, as well as his own efforts given to his fans and neighborhood he loved on a regular basis. On November the 17th, 2021, tragedy struck as Young Dolph was fatally shot while visiting Makita's cookie shop in Memphis. The news sent shockwaves through the music industry and devastated his loyal fan base. The Tennessee Regional Forensic Center released an autopsy report for Adolph, which stated he had 22 pow-pow wounds. You know YouTube and their rules. Young Dolph lost his life at Makita's homemade butter cookies on Airways Boulevard near Ketchum Road. A surveillance camera captured the suspects and a white Mercedes that they used during the attack, and also captured them fleeing the scene. Images of the now infamous white Mercedes Memphis police say was the getaway car used in Dolph's murder has been viewed by millions. The car was outside of an abandoned home on Bradley Street days after the murder in late November. It's the same home seen in a music video featuring Dolph's accused murderer, allegedly seen on camera, Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop. Straight Drop and Cornelia Smith have been charged in connection to the case. Shondell Barnett had a warrant out for his arrest for his involvement in the murder, and they both were picked up by the U.S. Marshals on January the 11th. 2 other men, Devin Burns and Joshua Taylor, also known as CEO Teasy, were named as persons of interest in the murder of Dolph. Then in mid-January, officials released an indictment against the 2 men charged in the rapper's murder. According to Shelby County District Attorney's Office, the second suspected gunman, Cornelia Smith, was also arrested and booked into Shelby County Jail. He too was charged with first-degree murder. Smith is also charged with attempted murder for allegedly wounding Young Dolph's brother, who was with him inside Makita's cookies at the time of the shooting. Prior to his alleged involvement in the murder of Young Dolph, Johnson, who reportedly raps under the stage name Straight Drop, was arrested for a triple shooting in Bill Hardwick's All-Star Lanes. It's a bowling alley on White Station Road that was there in 2017. But Johnson's 5-year sentence for that incident ended after months when the judge okayed his release. It's called the Department of Corrections, not the Department of Punishment, according to Judge Chris Kraft of Shelby County's criminal court. He was the one who approved the motion to suspend Johnson's 5-year prison sentence after he served a little more than 5 months. Johnson faces charges of first-degree murder and the theft of property between $10,000 and $60,000. He also has outstanding warrants for violation for federal release related to the weapons conviction. Smith, age 32, is also charged with unlawfully carrying or possessing a weapon, employment of a firearm with intent to commit a felony, and theft of property between $10,000 and $60,000. He was arrested on December the 9th in South Haven on an auto theft warrant involving the white Mercedes vehicle that was used in the murder. The district attorney's office said that the Mercedes was stolen in a carjacking on November the 10th at a gas station on Kirby. Working on information from a tipster who said the car was used in the murder of Young Dolph, police was able to locate it on November the 20th in the 1100 block of Bradley Street in the Orange Mound area. It was 3 days after Dolph had lost his life. South Haven Police Chief Macon Moore gave an interview with the local Fox station that said that Smith had stopped on Airways Boulevard by Dollar General just north of Roscoe Road and was arrested for a property crime. Smith was extradited from DeSoto County Jail to Shelby County Jail on Tuesday, January the 11th, and he is still being held with no bond. On the eve of the 1-year anniversary of the Memphis rap star's death, a new song is letting people inside the mind of Justin Johnson, one of the accused. Johnson's, aka Straight Drop, released a song on YouTube titled No Statements. The artwork says the song was recorded over the phone from inside 201 Poplar and boasts the lyrics, "Say I'm a rapper. The state say I'm a pay iller," but with a K. The song was dropped the same day Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy announced that a third suspect, who was 43-year-old Hernandez Govan, was indicted for ordering the hit on Young Dolph. Little Uzi's artist, Lotto Cash Desto, was identified as a victim of a fatal incident on Richmond Avenue. On September the 24th, Desto, whose real name is Destiny Govan, was murdered in the incident around 2:40 a.m. in the 5000 block. Police arrived at the scene and found Govan, age 25, unresponsive in the driver's seat of her vehicle. She was pronounced at the scene. Jeremiah Smith, age 19, and Christian Isaiah Williams, age 24, were two of the suspects charged with ending Desto's life. It is alleged that her death was retaliation since her father, 43-year-old Hernandez Govan, who is said to be linked to Trulia Mafia, was charged with first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder in Young Dolph's demise. Govan made multiple posts on his Facebook page showing him pay tribute to his daughter. In one post, he even apologized to her, saying that his lifestyle may have cursed her. Authorities accuse him of being the one who ordered Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith to end the beloved Memphis rapper's life. Govan's charges of first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder stem from that deadly shooting, but his third charge, a conspiracy to commit first-degree, dates back to June of 2021. The indictment charging Govan in Dolph's demise comes a week before the anniversary of the rapper's murder. Then Govan received a $90,000 bond on May 11, 2023, exactly 6 months after he was originally arrested in connection to the Memphis rapper's death. With that $90,000 bond, Govan's bail could have been as low as $9,000. He has pled not guilty to all charges and has moved on from his former attorney, Bill Massey, in favor of Atlanta-based attorney Manny Arora. While we can't get into the facts of the case, the judge has instructed us not to. I do support Mr. Govan's plea of not guilty, and that's why I took the case, Arora said. Court records from his May 11th appearance before Judge Lee Coffey state the state has more clearly determined the role that the defendant played in the alleged conspiracy, and safety and medical concerns exit the militant in favor of alternative custody arrangements for the defendant. The court documents also state the family of Young Dolph was made aware of the bond agreement with Govan and stands behind the state's recommendations and these actions. The important thing is that we have consulted with the family. According to Steve Mulroy, they understand why the state is doing what they're doing, and they also approve. Conditions of the bond were sealed by an order from the judge. Straight Drop's arrest comes less than a week after the marshals identify him as one of the people responsible for the death of Young Dolph. There was a $15,000 reward for information leading up to his arrest. It was announced by the U.S. Marshal Service. Straight Drop took to social media before his capture, announcing that he would turn himself in, but he never showed up, according to Shelby County District Attorney's Office. There are many scenarios or motives out there, as many have voiced an opinion as to what happened to Dolph. One of them being the offer of signing with the label for $22 million. In 2017, the Memphis rapper's vehicle was shot at multiple times in Charlotte, North Carolina. He was in town for a college tournament, an athletic tournament, basically. No one was injured in the incident, and according to Charlotte police, it took place around 6:30 p.m. near an apartment complex at the intersection of 8th and North Caldwell Street. Despite the incident, Dolph later went on stage for a scheduled performance with the Migos and 21 Savage at the city's Cameo nightclub.
Hey, you ain't bring my business right into my business. Hey, why you need a sandwich? You want I into my now, still the same nigga. You can brush your big brother. Cause I hear your bitch who now calling you. You still the same nigga. They were beating with a day. I cannot take you serious. I'll let you make a piece of alcohol.
Rapper Black Youngster, along with two other men, surrendered to police after warrants were issued for their arrest and investigation of the shots being fired at the vehicle. An official from Mecklenburg County Jail confirmed to XXL Magazine that rapper-born Sammy Marquez Benson was charged with 6 counts of discharging a firearm into occupied property and 1 count of a felony conspiracy. Black Youngster was later released from the county jail. During that time, he was signed to Yo Gotti's label CMG Imprint. And with Dolph and Gotti's beef brewing for a while now, many wondered if Youngster had anything to do with the plot to end his life that was carried out at Makita's. In December of 2021, he released a song dissing Dolph called I'm Assuming, where he's posing at a crib with the name Thornton on it. Dolph's loyal fan base found this to be very disrespectful, and they spoke out in the media about it. Young Dolph is known for his success as an independent artist. Some fans may have been surprised to see him talking about possibly signing a recording deal with a label. For years, Dolph has proudly spoken about his status as an independent artist. During an interview with Double XL, he spoke about the pros and the cons of being on both sides of it. He also spoke about a few of the labels giving him a hard time for being independent. But that was only a few, he says. Most of them deal with him and they respect what he was trying to do. Some believe this was the motive surrounding his demise, and that it was a plot from within the industry by the people in charge. As time has passed, there have been more arrests and probably more to come. June of this year, Joshua Taylor, or CEO TZ, who was a person of interest in this case, was found lifeless inside of his vehicle. Officers responded to a man-down call at Spotswood Avenue near Button Street around 12:56 p.m. They found Taylor suffering from wounds as he was pronounced at the scene. However, people who lived nearby believe he was actually shot the night before and was just discovered the next day. Straight Drop's brother, Jamarcus Johnson, age 26, was accused of being an accessory after the fact of conspiring to murder Young Dolph. He is now one of the 4 men that are charged. He admitted to assisting his brother, Justin, days after Dolph was murdered by taking possession of Justin's cell phone and car, so police would think that Justin was out of town, out of Memphis. His attorney announced in court, with regard to Jamarcus, as we announced in court, he had no role in the murder of Dolph before it happened, and he had no role in the murder when it happened. Johnson may be called as a witness to testify against the other suspects if the cases go to trial. He faces between 6 and 12 years in prison. Prosecutors says that Jamarcus had no actual role, but he was one of the multiple players doing different things in connection with it. He also mentions that a hearing dealing with this case and several defendants is a little bit like chess. You've got to set up your pieces. Jamarcus was initially charged with more serious offense of conspiracy to commit first degree in the indictment. Jamarcus is also being accused of helping Justin communicate with the other suspect, Cornelius Smith. His lawyer claims that his client was an unwilling participant who was dragged into the aftermath. Sometimes it's one of those lessons of you have to be careful who you know and who you associate with. In this case, it was his half-brother who showed up to his apartment one day and had a phone in the car. Young Dolph was known in Memphis for his charitable works and his success as an independent musical artist and businessman. When he was murdered, Dolph was in the city to visit a sick relative and hand out Thanksgiving turkeys at a church. After his demise, Memphis named a street after him, and the Memphis Grizzlies of the NBA honored him during the game. Murals of the rapper have been painted around the city, and a pop-up museum featuring him was opened earlier this year. The bakery, Makita's Homemade Cookies, became an impromptu memorial site for the slain rapper. It was closed for months after the incident, but has since reopened. His impact on the rap industry cannot be overstated. Through his music, he inspired countless aspiring artists to overcome adversity and chase their dreams. Young Dolph's journey may have been cut short, but his influence will continue to shape the future of hip hop, and his memory will live on forever. We pay our respects to this incredibly talented artist who poured his heart and soul into every lyric, captivating audiences with his unmatched charisma. Thank you for joining us on this look into the Young Dolph case. If you find this video informative and want to explore more true crimes, support the channel. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments, like and share this video with your friends. Until next time,